Welcome back to Martin Leaker channel. Nothing new is under the sun. I'm taking a look at this old film of San Francisco in California back in 1906. And as you can see, this is a major American Californian city that has been completely destroyed by fire. Now, I know San Francisco, the narrative is it had a shake at 5 a.m. in the morning for a few seconds, but most of the damage you actually witnessed is from fires. Now, this is not the only American city that has succumbed to fire, not even in California, but at the other end of America, the other end actually of Route 66 is where it starts, is Chicago, another city that was completely destroyed by fire and linked to wildfires, because the biggest wildfire in American history, and the Bestiga event of 1871, some people say that the fire off of that caused San Francisco to burn, and the ashes from the Bestiga event were detected in the Azores, which was mid-Atlantic. So this was a biblical style wildfire, and cities were completely destroyed. Now, I'm not saying that San Francisco is anything to do with wildfires, but I'm just saying that Californian cities seem to burn a hell of a lot through the ages, wouldn't you say? So what we're witnessing here is just endless peoples, untraumatized, turning up from the Terminus building at the end of Market Street. All actually well turned out for apocalyptic people, off somewhere to a point where they meet and probably get allocated a new lot. Some people have been saying, over the years, this is just nothing more than some sort of land grab or a reappropriation of land or some sort of invasion, or maybe they got different ideas and the people really don't come into it. Now, last night on Facebook, one of my subscribers, I think it was Lisa, said that her mother's house had burned down. So this is basically, if you can see under these fire here, it's been taken from a plane, evidently. You can see properties. I'm not sure how the fires, these are literally individual properties on fire. Now, they are apocalyptic, these scenes. Now, to think these are the suburbs of Los Angeles, and it's just apparently out of control, and the smoke as well is causing like all sorts of respiratory problems. And they're evacuating tens of thousands of people as we speak today. And they're finding it difficult to keep this fire in check by all accounts. And as you can see, the roads, the highways are all jam-packed with people evacuating where? And what happens when you lose your dwelling and it's burnt out? How can you rebuild your life in this era? Especially in California, well, what's going on there with the tax? It's nearly impossible for Californians to live at the moment. That's why in the last few years, so many Californians have left and gone to places like Texas. But you can see here they're trying to dampen it all down while the encroaching wildfire is coming. Look at that Tartaria building up there, look, which is about the Getty Villa. Oh, right, something to do with the Getty. The Getty Villa is still there. Actually, it looks like the shrubbery. So what we witnessed with these footages as well is that a lot of the buildings what we witnessed in Maui, for example, or even Paradise, California, a few years ago, some vegetation stays put and the buildings are completely incinerated. We're not witnessing that here. We're witnessing winds, and just like San Francisco, and just like Boston, and just like Chicago, horrendous wildfires blowing through. Look at that. And that's this was yesterday in LA. So I'm guessing it's scary if you're there. I was in an area once in Texas that had a previous wildfire. There wasn't a tree in sight. And when I was in Portugal, they said that the wildfires evacuate a lot of the Sagres area every single year. They just live with them. But LA's different. It is one of the biggest cities, second biggest city, third biggest city, excuse me, in America. So look at this. Looks like a bit of old Rome on fire. It's like Nero should be sat there fiddling or something. That's apocalyptic. And this stuff's taking down stone buildings too. This wildfire. Look at that for an apocalyptic scene. Whew. Okay, just craziness. So yeah, Inferno rips through LA neighborhood as thousands flee its path. Quite scary stuff on Fox News. Okay, so there's a lot of images that I've posted in the last that have been posted in the last day or so, which show you that this is pretty bad. And let's look at that for the LA skyline, downtown LA. Excuse me, downtown LA, and all that smoke in the background. Wow, well, that's somebody just don't go straight through the whole lot and make it look like San Francisco. That would be pretty bad. I'll have no LA to actually ever go to. So this was a few years ago. I don't remember this. Back in 2021, I think it was. Yes, August 2021. They had a series of horrendous wildfires. Really, really crazy. A lot of people were asking questions about the power of the raging wildfires and the wind. Dangerous situation, but these scenes are just completely apocalyptic, and this completely burnt out, but the trees are not. How is that even possible? And we see that with the San Francisco imagery as well, all trees intact. So the suggestion has been out there for quite some time now. Is there more going on? Is it that they're just using zappers? And this is excuse me, the wildfires in Paradise a few years ago, where you can see vegetation intact. It's crazy. But in the past, ways of destroying cities in the Great War, First World War, 1915, they were using zeppelins and essentially direct energy weapons to cause high energy beam in a roof, cause a fire, better than an incendiary they were using. And the Zeppelin itself looks like a very large fasces. So Chicago, exactly the same, 1871, attributed, connected. I know the official narrative of an oil lamp and etc. being hit over, but not for a major metropolitan city. It does make no sense, all this stone. And the scenes of Chicago just apocalyptic. 10,000 buildings burned. Wow. And there they are, the Zeppelin zappers in the past. Now, the images you see on Google, really, I'm not sure if you can actually trust, concerning laser beams coming out of the sky. I wasn't there, and I can't substantiate them. Very synonymous with what happened that started all this weirdness off in the first place, back in September the 11th. There was literally computers like cut in half, like a beam had hit them and cut them in half. Chicago, it's the same narrative. Nothing new is actually under the sun. Let's just hope they keep them fires in check. Well, what reasons could it be? Okay, well, there is the Santa Monica Rift, which is a natural, if you go with Teutonic movement, a natural rift that goes from here to here, right away across America, Santa Monica. And they say that there's sections of this that become active. Now, have you ever seen the film, the volcano film with, I can't remember who was in it now. I think it was Stallone. But the film Volcano, a volcano erupts in LA. There's literally mud flats there, volcanic activity in LA itself on Wilshire Boulevard in the movie. And it causes literally a volcano in LA, that film. Well, it's on this line here, right on this line here, which coincidentally there is roughly Route 66 as well. So it could be something along those lines of volcanicity building up. I wonder if it, if it was further south, it could go through Missouri and the New Madrid fault line. So beams of light, well, they're sort of been debunked. I'm not sure if I can trust them myself, but these misrepresenting fraudulent images attributed to the Maui wildfires, and they've been fact-checked. And people saying that they're false. But in the day of the internet, what can you trust with the AI? Okay. Direct energy weapons. Okay. And there is the scenes at Maui. Stone buildings, a lot of trees still intact, like we see with San Francisco, etc. So, could that be going on? A land grab, clearing the way for something? What about the California wildfires line up exactly with the path of the high-speed train planned for California? Well, they haven't got one, you see. They've got to keep up with the infrastructure of the Chinese and the Japanese. They've got high-speed trains, but there's nothing seemingly coming across America in the way of high speed. So there has been plans in motion from Santa Fe to San Diego in the past for this high-speed train link, but coincidentally, this one here from LA, which takes you all the way up to the north of California, I think even Sacramento, which is just not there on high-speed link now. The phases have been planned in the past, as you can see, and it is exactly where the forest fires, the wildfires have been happening. Simulated reserve corridor system to protect biodiversity. As you know, the miracle of agriculture has happened in California. They got all these, I witnessed it myself, deserty areas turned into lush green places for growing. They have these water systems that keep it all irrigated constantly, and they grow food all year round. This is America's ladder. Burn America's ladder, and you're going to have to import your food. So that's interesting. New Prussia, and this was all of America, had Germany won the war. Anyway, food for thought. Let me know what you think in comments. I'm going to be back flat today. I've got some super juice to bring to you. It's going to be fantastic. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share this video. Thanks to everybody that already has. This has been Martin Leaker, and I will see you all very, very soon.